Hello and welcome to the Armor's Fix. My name is Kyle, and today my good friend Nathan is here with me from Crossbreed. We're here to talk to you about the Glock 43 versus the all-new Glock 43X. One of the biggest questions today is what is the difference between the 43 and 43X, which is what we're going to show you. Fortunately, our good friends at Crossbreed were able to get a hold of the Glock 43X and the Glock 48 to where we were able to get our hands on them as well. That being said, that allowed them to take the lead of getting some of the first holsters out on the market. Nathan, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little rundown on the holsters you brought with you today?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we've got our flagship Super Tuck here, which is one of our top-selling holsters. This one in particular is actually made for the new Glock 48. And then we also have our all-new Reckoning holster, which is our brand new IWB or OWB with adjustable retention holster that's really been killing it lately. And then down on the very end, we've got our Mini Tuck holster, which is another flagship product for Crossbreed, mainly designed for smaller frame firearms, which makes it a perfect fit for the all-new Glock 43X.
So you're not just walking in with one holster, you're getting the whole shebang out here.
Absolutely.
All these sound great, man. I'm looking forward to checking those out where you can as well at crossbreedholsters.com. Nathan, thanks for coming in today. I appreciate
thanks
it.
a lot.
One of the obvious differences between the 43 and 43X is going to be the grip length. The grip length comes down and extends to a point you're going to be able, for most shooters, to fit your whole hand on it. As you can see here with the 43, my hand falls beyond the grip, and that's also using a Terran base pad, which is going to give us a little bit of an extension. If we take the magazine out, you'll see here a lot of my hand is completely missing. So a lot of shooters don't like that whole flying pinky. Now, as we compare it with the 43X, the X with the extended grip, as you can see, even with the magazine out, my entire hand fits on the gun, as it will for most shooters. Those of you with really large hands, you may not see this, but it's still going to be more beneficial because you're going to have a lot more surface area to make contact with the handgun. One of the other features you'll notice is the PVD finish on the slide. Those of you familiar with Cerakote, the color is actually very, very similar to Cerakote's shimmer aluminum. On the slide, you're going to notice this with the 43X, you actually get cocking serrations out front. A lot of the old school guys hate that, think it looks ugly. A lot of the new school guys who are all obsessed with press checking on the range are going to love it. One complaint I've seen on the 43X, which isn't an issue for the 48, is that the cocking serrations are too close to the front, which is going to make you muzzle yourself. No, it's not. So you just learn how to hold the gun. It's not going to be an issue for you. One of the other things you'll notice when you look at the two frames is that the 43X frame is quite a bit wider, and that's to accommodate for the larger magazine, which is also going to hold more rounds. The frame on the Glock 43X is a hair slimmer than the Glock 26. This has been a complaint to a lot of people, but I promise when you go hands-on with this firearm, you're going to notice a massive difference to where it feels much slimmer than the 26. I've seen where a lot of people keep focusing on that, and just as I expected, it feels way slimmer. It's one of those things that looks like a little step down on paper, but trust me guys, this thing is way easier to get your hands around. The overall length is a little bit larger on the 43X, and really where that is in your grip length, which is extending on back towards the back portion of the gun just a hair further than the standard 43. Their barrel length on the 43 is 3.39 inches, and the barrel length on the 43X is 3.41 inches. The overall width of the 43 is 1.02 inches. On the X, the slide width is actually identical to the 43 at 0.87. Whereas the frame on the X is going to take you from 1.02 to 1.1 inches in width. The weight of the 43 with an empty magazine is 17.95 ounces. So the Glock 43X is 18.7 ounces. All right, guys, now coming down to the magazines. One thing you notice from the 43, which most of you should be familiar with, is the single stack magazine with the staggered windows. And over here we have the 43X magazine, a slim double stack or 1.5 where the windows are straight. Now, there's a little bit of speculation on this, and what I'm hoping is that Glock ends up releasing later a magazine that is staggered, maybe going to a metal body, whereas the plastic body has just got a lot of extra thickness. You look at something like the 365, we have a gun close to half the size that we're stuffing 10 rounds in. So right here in my ASAP bag, I have a 365. With the flush fit 365 mag, it's also 10 rounds. So you can see if we can fit 10 in here, we should be able to get more than 10 here. So if you look here and you see the width, if we consider going to a metal mag, aftermarket, or Glock, not sure who's going to do what, but I think we'll possibly end up seeing an actual slim double stack mag for this where maybe we'll get 12, 13, 14, 15 rounds. I'm hoping 14, 15 if we get there. Guys, we have two guns that are going to absolutely crush the market. If we can get 13 to 15 rounds in a gun the size of the 43X or the 48, the 365 is going back on the shelf. I'm going to be carrying one of these things. With Glock making mags, we also have Magpul making mags, ETS mags. Hopefully we'll see some of these offer some options. So we've also got metal mag companies who could probably do it, like Metgar, which is famous for making a lot of SIG mags and doing awesome mags for the Browning high powers and those like that. We also have other metal mag manufacturers like some of the other questions some of you will have is about the guts on these guns. What I've seen after being on the inside of these guns is 100% Gen 5 parts. And the big question everybody's wanting to know, does the 43X mag go inside the 43? Where's the mirror? One thing I've been seeing a lot is, what is the point of this gun? What purpose does it serve for just the 4 extra rounds? Well, first off, that's 4 extra rounds, and if that's not a big deal to you, it should be. We're talking a gun that's an in-between stage of one of the larger frame guns and a little bitty pocket gun. All right, so we're actually finding a spot right here in the middle that a lot of people have asked for, a lot of people have wanted. If this isn't your gun and you don't understand why, that's fine. You can have that opinion, but no, there's a lot of people that are really stoked about this. And we've all had times where we're trying to go to something. Maybe it's an event where, you know, we can't print whatsoever. We're in different clothing. Maybe you're not used to wearing suits. You're wearing suits. Maybe you're used to wearing suits and you're wearing a t-shirt. And whatever you normally wear just prints a little bit too much. Or you could get away with a little bit bigger gun. Guys, this is hopping right in the middle there. It's creating something beautiful and filling in yet another space. Closing thoughts, my personal opinion is I dig the longer frame. This allows me to get my full hand on it. In a recent video, you guys saw me talking about my 365 and how I'd extended the grip. I essentially took a 365 and did this with it. So it's fixed to hold 12 rounds only. So I think this is a genius idea. It's lovely. It's amazing. I'm super happy Glock brought this to us. Yeah, honestly, go pick one up. I dig it a lot more than the 43. If I had a preference of which one I could pick up, hands down, it would be this gun. I know some of you like the smaller ones, and yeah, I could get an extended mag. Again, that creates a little bit of wobble in your hands. And I know a lot of you are going to say, like, oh, are you worried about the wobble? I'm not worried about the wobble, but without the wobble, with a solid frame, it feels better. You do have less recoil. It's more comfortable. And if I have an advantage, I'll take it. Well, that sums up most of my ideas on these guns. And Nathan, you've had these for a hot minute, getting to go through these and work on holster designs and everything. So what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, you know, honestly, we were able to get them in early, get our hands on them early. And what I can tell you is everybody at the shop was really impressed with that extended grip. You know, it really made the gun more comfortable. You're not necessarily needing that Terran Tactical base plate or something just to get your pinky on there. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. Frankly, a lot of the guys thought the ergos on the 43X were actually better than the 48. So that was kind of surprising as they both came out at the same time. But I think for me, for Glock, it's going to end up being a home run for them. I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, why do we need this? We've got the SIG, we got these other things. Personally, I think there's a lot of Glock guys that like that Glock reliability. You know, they're really into Glocks, and I think this is going to definitely be a nice fit for them between that 19 maybe they've already got and their 43. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great one.
One thing I'll add to that too is that's really important to me is we bring in new shooters. New shooters, we show them a 19 and they're like, man, that's too big. There's no way I can carry that. And that's where a 43 comes in. It's a nice starting place,
absolutely.
right? And this offers them that next step up. And we see people work their way up, but it kind of takes, it's a big step, and that kind of narrows this down and makes it a little bit easier so they can kind of casually move into that.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for bringing these in here. This has been awesome. It's been a pleasure. And guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Also, stay tuned. Keep watching, because here in the very near future, we will be posting another video featuring the Glock 48 versus a 19. Thanks, Nathan.
70s Star Wars blaster is by far my favorite. I mean,
78 solo right there, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why worry about mag capacity when you can just pew, 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 pew all day long and never run out?
So what you're saying is you want to hold it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna see if I can make a holster for it.